and only Dr. Anjum Nasir Qureshi joining us all the way from Chandrapur, Maharashtra. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. Bahut bahut dhanyawad. Thank you for taking out the time.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being on this platform with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, so much. You have a towering voice, and I am a fan of your voice. I love that strong voice which you have, which is very commanding, and of course, you have a lot of confidence when you speak. So we have here Dr. Anjum Nasir Qureshi, who is going to share her journey with us, dear friends. I go ahead and share her profile, and then we begin the session. I do this always on the International Fab Talks, sharing the profiles of all our celebrity guests. Ma'am, I go ahead and share your profile, and we begin the session. Thank you, ma'am. So, dear friends, I take the privilege and pride to share the celebrity's profile. And she is none other than Dr. Anjum Nasir Qureshi. I just feel proud when I share this profile today because I would love to be in her shoes. Since I don't take much of your time, we have with us Dr. Anjum Nasir Qureshi. She holds the position of the Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering Research and Technology, Chandrapur, Maharashtra. I add more to ma'am's profile. She is very focused with her work. She has a very rich academic background, and she has authored round about 3 books and holds 4 patents to her credit, showcasing her expertise in her field. However, Dr. Qureshi's contribution extends beyond academia, beyond academics. That's really nice. She is a versatile professional serving as a parenting coach, which is very essential in today's world. It was essential during our time as well. I won't disagree with that. And in today's world, also, it's very important and essential to have a parenting coach. And she's a great career counselor for students. She's a graphology expert, that is a graphology practitioner as well, international trainer, and a wonderful motivational speaker. She's been invited as a guest on many platforms. She has been giving her time and has participated in over 400 events across the world, sharing her knowledge and expertise. And she has been doing very well. People love to have her on their platforms. That's really nice. And today she's here with us. It's really a pleasure to have her here. Her engaging presentations and training sessions have earned her the recognition as a valuable resource person and a guest speaker. Dr. Qureshi's influences the people around her in the right way, especially the girls coming from the rural background, or the children, the youth coming from the rural background. Apart from the rural background, even the students in the city also could avail her services and could be encouraged to go forward through her guidance and mentorship. I'd like to add more to ma'am's profile. As we earlier mentioned, Dr. Qureshi's influence reaches beyond the realm of education and training. She is someone who gives her whole and soul to what she does, either as an author, as a trainer, a public speaker, or as an academician, to put that right. And friends, I'd like to add more to that. She's been writing on diverse topics. We'll get to know more about it. She's been globally featured in various newspapers, that is globally circulated newspapers, demonstrating her ability to communicate effectively on any given topic. She's a ready speaker always, because she's a great reader, voracious reader as well. Additionally, she has contributed to the international documentary films produced by UNICEF, showcasing her commitment to humanitarian causes. In recognition of her significant contributions, Dr. Qureshi has received numerous awards. These accolades highlight her dedication to education, training, and humanitarian activities, underscoring her status as a respected figure in her field. And today we are really proud to have her here, and I'd love to listen to her journey. Why did she do all of this, and why is she continuing to carry this legacy forward? What is her mission in life, and what is still on her bucket list? Ma'am, it's really a pleasure to have you here. That's really nice. My first question to you. When did you transition into a wonderful author?
Wonderful author. Well, it was just 3 years ago when I wrote my first book, but it was something which I was preparing since many years. I was fond of writing right from the childhood. Even in my school days, I used to write poems for the Wall magazine or the school magazine. And when I was working as a professor in engineering college and then as a trainer, I started writing small articles. but they never got published in the newspapers. So somewhere it was demotivating. But I kept on improving. I said that, okay, it is not getting published. So it is somewhere the problem in my writing. This should be there. So I worked on it, tried to improve the quality of writing. And then I started with some very small startups, we can say, where they published the articles in small magazines. And then once I got the confidence, the few of my articles got published, then I got the confidence. Now I can write more, and then I started writing a book because this was something when I was in school, I thought I want to write something. I will be an author someday. But it took many years, and it was just 3 years ago when I wrote my first book, and then the second, and very recently I have again written the third book. So it is, I can say, it is a journey of few years which I worked consistently, and now I can say this. I have three books that I have written.
That's really nice, ma'am. We would love to know the names of the books that you've written and on what topic have you been focusing on. I would love to know that.
Yeah, see, I have the books with me. This will, first one is the 10 core life skills. And this I have written about the life skills, that is decision making, problem solving, interpersonal relationships, then critical thinking, creative thinking, empathy, emotional intelligence. And in this book, I start with self-awareness. Because until and unless you know yourself, there is no meaning in knowing the world, what others have been doing, and all. The thing is, you have to identify yourself. What are your abilities? What all you can do, and what you want for yourself. So there we start. That is the first life skill, self-awareness, and the rest of the things, like I told you, about problem solving, decision making, and all. The second book that I have written, that was about Internet of Things. Internet of Things, that is a technology in which you can be controlling devices, animals, human beings with the help of the internet. You just have a small device. It can be like an app on your mobile, and you can be doing it. So the second is I have written about Internet of Things, and the third book is again this is mastering communication skills. The idea behind writing mastering communication skills, the last year, I got a chance to work as a training and placement officer for a few months in my college. And that time I realized that the students, like Chandrapur, though it is a district place, but it is not so developed. And the students also come to our college. They are some very, very rural areas. So I thought that these students, though they are very talented, though they have good knowledge, but they are somewhere lacking in the communication skills, and especially when you are from an engineering background. You're supposed to communicate very nicely in English. You have to participate in group discussion during the placement rounds, or you have to appear for the interview. So you need good communication skills, you need good presentation skills. And due to lack of these skills, the students are not getting placed into companies. So I thought that because I had such a long journey of being a trainer and interacting with the people, and how I had developed myself, and how these communication skills can help the students, because it is not just like communication is not just not like standing on the stage and speaking something. It is much beyond that. It requires many skills. So I have tried to put all those skills in my third book, that is mastering communication skills.
Excellent, ma'am. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing all of that. That's wonderful that you've become an author and you're sharing all the important life skills with regard to communication and lifestyle and life skills, to put that right. That's really nice. Very interesting. Now, ma'am, you are a global trainer, that is an international trainer. Where do you focus your energies on? Who are you targeting as a trainer? Who you want to transform? If you can share that with us and enlighten us about that journey, about you as a trainer.
Yeah, about trainer, I can say my first preference is always working with the youth. One of the reasons might be that I work in a college, and nearly half of the day I am surrounded by youth. And the second thing is that even everyone will agree that youth are the future of our nation. And especially when we are in India, we know that it is called as the nation of youth. We have the largest number of youths in India. So, because this youth need a lot of guidance, lot of venturing is required for them. So, main focus is always for the youth. And the second is women. Women, they have immense talent. But sometimes, this gender disparities that we are seeing and all, there are some stereotypes. But still, women have a lot of potential and little bit of guidance and motivation, they can do wonders. So I especially focus on trainings for women and youth. And I would like to share an experience. Like in the last few months, I have been going to villages and the CSR activities of a company, and I have been training adolescent girls. And the topic is life skills. So we just go and discuss. And in fact, I go for training, I never go for a lecture kind of thing. And it has happened with me that the girls, when they are called, like, okay, there is a training session for you, they hesitate to come. They think that, okay, someone is going to speak for an hour. But when they come and once they get engaged with all the things that are going on, because I know that, especially when I say youth, these people are not in a state to listen. You just stand on a stage. It doesn't matter however effective you may be speaking, but they don't have that patience. So what I do is I take lot many activities where they are engaged, and with the help of that, it is not just an activity, but it is actually what I want to tell. Like I want to tell them about decision making, so I have an activity for that. I want to tell them about how to improve your communication skills, so I have an activity for that. So with that, they learn so nicely that after the session, actually, if you say, "Oh, okay, now the session is over, you can go home," they don't want to go home because they want to sit, they want to talk again to me with me. And nowadays, this they are very interested in having photos. So that is another, like after the training session is over, everyone wants to click a selfie, everyone wants to click a photo. Even for women, like in Maharashtra, the local language is Marathi. So I'm not so good at Marathi because my mother tongue is Urdu, and I studied in a school where I never studied Marathi. In fact, I know Sanskrit very well. So I cannot communicate so fluently or confidently in Marathi, but it's still like I speak when I go to the villages, but still I manage. So even the women, they just don't want to leave the training session and they are so concentrated, and I like working. And as you said, yes, I am from an engineering. In fact, my PhD is in electronics engineering. But you won't believe, because of my this fascination in working with the rural women and the rural girls, I have also done MA in rural development. Very recently, I did it, and that was so interesting. And with the help of that, when I studied so many things, I really enjoyed doing the course. And with the help of that, it really helped me when I was doing trainings with the rural women and the girls. It really helped me a lot.
Interesting, ma'am. Very, very interesting. That's really good to know. What is the message for all your students and all the trainees who are under you? Like, as you said, they don't want the training to end. They'd love to have more time with you, learn a lot, interact a lot. What is the message to the youth, especially of Maharashtra, who you connect with? If you'd like to share some message for them today on the Fab Talks, you could.
Yeah. And this message is not only for the youth of Maharashtra, but India and even globally, if youth or any of the people who will be watching this, I just think that you should be consistent in anything that you do. Like when I go for, like, if I come for a session, for a life skill session, and I tell, okay, this is decision making, you do this, you do that. But after that 1 hour session, it should not go out of your mind. And the session will say, yes, ma'am, I will be doing this from today. I'm very inspired by you. But I feel that at least 1 or 2% should learn that in life, if you want to be successful, you should be consistent in whatever you're doing. Now, when I say, like, I am a trainer, so because consistently I kept on trying on my trainings, just approaching. There was a time when I used to approach people. Now people approach me. Okay, we have a function, we have a training, so please be there. So you have to be consistent, you have to struggle, you have to do a lot of hard work, and especially if you want to be successful, you have to just let go of, like, you have to do a lot of sacrifices. You have to sacrifice your, especially like sleep, you have to sacrifice your recreation, you have to sacrifice a lot. And until you sacrifice, you cannot achieve anything in life.
Very true, ma'am. That's really true. We'd like to know about your journey as a youngster. What kind of a girl was Anjum when she was a young girl? If you can remember any of the incidents that happened in school, were you a good student or a notorious one?
Actually, I was very studious. I was a very good student, but also notorious. I will tell both the things. Yeah, first thing, I don't know why since childhood, somewhere I was fascinated by this public speaking kind of events, like standing on the stage and participating in elocution, participating in a debate. That is something very interesting for me. And I must say I'm very thankful to my parents because at the time when I started going to school, that was a time when girls had already started going to school, but still there was a disparity where the people chose that the boys should go to an English medium school, and they were not so worried about the girls' education. They would have sent them to some regional school and all that. But I'm thankful to my parents that they even sent me, not just me, we were four siblings, two brothers and two sisters. All of them went to the same school. But because I was in an English medium school, somewhere I had a problem because my parents were not that educated, especially not in English. So there was no one who could write a speech for me or who could guide me. But still, when I was in class six, I took up that courage to write down a speech for me. In fact, even before that, I did it, and I could not, come up in the competition. I could never win a competition right from the first standard. But when I was in class six, my class teacher suddenly realized that this girl has a potential, but she needs some help. So my class teacher, he sent me to the English teacher, where my speech was refined because I had written it. I need to know how much a class six student can write. So my speech was bit refined, it was edited, and then when I went to the competition, I won the first prize in that. That was the first time when I was in class six. And after that, the journey went on from there. And I was always into such kind of competitions, doing anchoring, even for events, like doing anchoring for events, and then participating in elocution, debate, quiz, all this intellectual tasks I used to do. And of course, notorious, our class batch was so notorious that one day our principal man drove all of us out of the class and she locked the class and said, "We don't need all of you. Just leave the school. You people leave the school." So we were even notorious at that time. We would do this. But yes, right from the school time, I was into this. So I think that's the result. Like when my friends say that, okay, yeah, we studied in the same class, but you being a professor and you are doing so many things. So I say, see, just remember what I did in school.
Yes.
So it is right from the school that I have done this.
Yes, dear. Excellent, ma'am. That's really nice. You shared all of that beautifully. I really could visualize that little girl in sixth class writing her own speech, being identified by the right mentor, and he
Yeah.
sent you to the English teacher, to refine that speech. That's really nice. I really appreciate people who look forward to helping one another. And
Yes.
especially if your teacher or if your professor finds that you have some talent within you and tries to encourage you, you have to really take that encouragement and go forward. As in your
Yeah,
case,
of
you
course.
really appreciated the effort of your teachers who have, shaped you into who you are today. And now you are shaping the lives of millions of youngsters.
Yes.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, dear, what I'd like to ask you is you also said that your principal made the whole class stand out and lock the door. What was
Yeah.
that thing that made her do it? Like, what was the mischief that was created in class? Were you involved in that, or you were just a spectator and didn't reveal
No,
anything?
no, no. We were all involved into that.
What was it? What was it?
Yeah, in fact, not just one, but there were many. many things that we have been doing since many days. In fact, creating nuisance in the class, disturbing all the teachers, and that was something we used to do nearly every day. So once one day the principal was just shows out of anger, just all of you just go out of the class and we don't need you anymore. She said, school means okay, you are literate now, you can read and write. You don't need education, just go out of the school. So that was something happened, but it was not just a one mischief. It was a series of mischief that we have been doing, and that was good.
Were you in the 10th class?
Yeah, we were in the 10th class at that time.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I understand. So when you all were standing out, like what were you telling each other?
Oh God, you can't believe we went to the ground and we started playing.
Uh,
So you can understand how notorious we were in the school.
Yes, dear. That's really nice. When you go back down memory lane, remember about your school days, you just feel so nostalgic to be connected like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, ma'am, we'd love to know about your parents. What kind of support did you receive from your parents? Because most of the parents, especially from the rural areas or from certain sections of the society, they don't allow their children to bloom, especially uh, the girl, once she comes of age, they wouldn't want her to enter for further studies. Some of them, like 10th is enough
Yeah.
for 12th class. आजकल भी वैसा ही हो रही है।
Yeah.
8वीं क्लास या 10 या 12 उसके या पार करके जाना नहीं है, शादी करा देनी है बच्ची का। तो आपके जिंदगी में आपके पेरेंट्स किस तरह के सपोर्ट आपको दे चुके हैं? इफ यू कैन शेयर दैट एंड मेक अस
Yes,
अंडरस्टैंड द
ma'am.
इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ पेरेंट्स एंड ऑफ कोर्स योर एफर्ट एज वेल।
Yeah, not my efforts, I can say. That were all the efforts made by my parents. In fact, when someone asks me, I really go emotional into that. Because you can understand that was not just about a community at that time, but everyone, like 18, reaching 18 was something very big, though government has given a rule, but reaching 18 was also a very big thing at that time. And my parents were somewhere, they supported me a lot because when I was in first year, I was in second year. There were not many people who used to approach for marriages, for marriage. Okay, get your daughter married. We have so and so groom. The boy is doing this and that. But my father was in there, like, no, let her finish her graduation, and after that we will think about it. There were many people who even said, like, why a girl should go to engineering? You won't believe, in my class 12, from the school where I passed my class 12, I was the only girl who opted for engineering.
Oh, wow.
Rest of the boys went for, there were many boys who went for engineering, but I was the only girl who went for engineering. Others went for other courses, some BSc, BBA, and all that, but I was the only one. And when I studied in engineering college, girls were very less, not more than 10 to 20%. So many people used to say, why are you spending so much on a girl? Why should a girl study in an engineering college? Why you're paying so much of fees for her? She will just get married and go away. What will you gain from her? She's not going to earn for you. All these things were there, and I had to even travel every day, some 30 kilometers and all to come to the college, but still I did it. And my parents were always there in support of me. And due to that, I could finish engineering at that time. And then, even after marriage, I got so much of support from my in-laws, my husband, and now my both of my daughters, all are there to support me. And I'm doing all this.
That's really nice. You had the wonderful support of your parents and your in-laws as well. That's really nice. You're blessed in many ways. Right?
Yes,
Yes. Many of them are not blessed across India and the world to have parents and in-laws to encourage them to go forward with
yeah.
regard to education and a career as well. Ma'am, you connected with the Department of Electronics and Communication. Like, would you like to share some light on it, what actually it is, and how do you go about your job in the role of a professor, assistant professor, like to put that right? So, what is your work with regard to the engineering arena?
Yeah, the engineering arena, yes, I'm in electronics and communication. And I teach now. I've been teaching subjects like microprocessor, microcontroller. But I won't be saying the subjects because the subjects keep on changing every time because every few years the syllabus is revised, so subjects will keep on changing and all. But what I do is here, as I said even earlier, this is a generation where they don't like, listening. Someone just comes and that chalk and talk method. That is what I don't believe anymore. Even while studying subjects like microprocessor and microcontroller or electronic devices and circuits, we have different kind of activities in this technical subjects too, we are having role play, we are having songs, we are having group presentations. So this kind of teaching when we are doing, this is helping them a lot because they learning as it becomes fun for them. They are learning their subjects and if you see these activities when we have, that is somewhere helping them in boosting their confidence and boosting their communication skills as well, because they have to come and they have to present those topics. So this blend, okay, I don't say that completely chalk and talk method is gone. Yeah, even that should be done. Sometimes presentation, sometimes explaining a topic. On the board that is there, but even like 50% of the classes where there were different kind of activities for them for technical subjects, so they are learning. And the second thing that what I do is I have motivated so many of my students. I tell them that you have to take extra efforts, like going and participating in various competitions outside the college, and some of them at national level, international level, they have appeared. And I guide them and I tell them, okay, do this. And I always keep on guiding them. And sometimes they think that we are from such a small place, so how could we do it? But yes, there are students. Those were one, like a girl recently, she went that in the National Youth Festival. She participated in the National Youth Festival because from district to regional to state level, she was the first prize winner in the poetry competition. So she participated in the National Youth Festival. There was another group, those who participated in a national level project competition, which was the topic was space exploration. So they participated in that, and they was when they participated in the competition, they were a little bit scared because they had students from cities like Chennai, Mumbai, Chandigarh, but still they could manage to get a second prize into that. So it is little bit of motivation that the students need, and I leave no chance to motivate them because I know so with my experience I have understood that only a degree or a mark sheet it won't help. You need a lot of skills inside you to be presentable, to be compatible with this competitive world. And along with teaching my subjects in every class, I keep on motivating them for this.
That's wonderful. That's really interesting, ma'am. Having activities and making the students participate in them enhances their confidence, as you've said. That's really nice. And the talk and chalk method also is good. But I think if you want to boost somebody's confidence, the activity part is very important. And
Yes.
involving each and every child or every student in the
Yeah.
class, is really very important. So that's nice. It's a takeaway for all the teachers and the school and college managements. The activities are an essential part to make you more stronger and ready to face the world. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we'd love to know about your journey as a woman. Now, as a woman, you might have faced certain biases from certain sections of the society. What kind of bias did you face? Like, were there any problems or obstacles when you were wanting to do what you're doing today? Have you faced anything like that? And yes, if you have faced it, how did you face it? How did you overcome the challenges?
Yes, ma'am, being a woman, and we know that especially the field which I chose, engineering. I told you when I studied, there was only some 10 to 20% girls. And then when I chose to be a professor in an engineering college, so again at that time, there were more of men in the department. In fact, let me tell you, when I studied, there was no female faculty in our department. In fact, in most of the departments, there were no female faculties. The female faculties, those were there because in engineering, we have subjects like communication skills. and then economics. So this humanities faculty would be some females, but in the engineering, yeah, either from electrical or whether it was electronics, we couldn't find a female faculty at that time. So when I joined there, again that was the same. Like most of them were men. And when it comes to allocation of responsibilities, so everywhere it was a question like, okay, being a lady, can she be able to do this? Taking class is different, okay. But then whether we are a professor or a teacher in the school, taking your classes, engaging your classes is one thing that you have to do. But besides that, you have many other responsibilities as a teacher. There are many other profiles that you have to handle over there. So every time this was a very big question. Being a lady, ma'am, you will have to wait till 7 p.m. today. You will have to come early morning tomorrow at 8 a.m. Would it be possible for you? We have to take our students on an industrial tour. Would you be able to manage? So this was something I said, why can't I do it? Okay, I can manage for a day. It's okay that every day I live at 4:30 or 5 p.m. For a day I can wait till 7 p.m. I will manage with that. So yes, and still there are people. Till now it is there. Like the men, especially if they are senior to you, they won't like working under you. That is a very big thing that I have observed. I don't know why there is something, what goes inside them, but still it is there.
The ego issue, the male ego.
Yes, yes, it is there. It is there.
Like as India is a patriarchal society, so definitely that will be ingrained in them that they need the upper hand. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
no offense to anyone. We are just sharing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is common. It is actually very common. But if we women, not just me or you, but everyone has to understand. Okay, this is how they have been brought up. Where they have seen that the men are ruling, but if a woman is there, that's a very good position. And many of the people are not even able to accept it. But we have to show that, yes, I can do it. And in fact, not only I must say, every woman can do it. So we have to keep that courage inside you, inside us. We have to just ignore what others are saying. We can surely do it. Anything can be done.
What I like about you is you connecting with the rural youth. Like, I really,
Yeah.
really like this concept. And you've also said that you've completed your MA in rural development, something like that,
Yes.
right? So I really,
Yeah.
really appreciate that because how many of us would really want to go down to that grassroots level and, work on those students? All want something, somebody like something ready made, like already they know something, I'll just add on something to what they know. But when you connect with the rural population, you have to put in a lot of effort, and I think you get satisfaction out of it when they respond to you or when they do the things that you would require them to do as a part of the training session or the interactions that you'll have. With regard to the international documentary films produced by UNICEF, I mean, you're connected with humanitarian causes. So, what is all this connecting to, and how did you get a chance to enter into it? What is your role and your connection with UNICEF? Over to
Yeah, now that is actually basically due to my husband. He works for Nehru Yuva Kendra, and Nehru Yuva Kendra in those days used to do projects with UNICEF. And first, I would like to tell about what this films were and what is my role in it. I was never on the screen. In fact, I worked with those directors. One director, she was from Denmark. The other director came from Ireland. And then they selected some girls with this documentary was made, and we used to go to that place and we used to shoot, and sometimes early morning, sometimes late, because we want to have all the kind of shots with us. And my work was translating everything, shooting the whole day with them, because they didn't know the local language. They didn't know Hindi, they didn't know Marathi. So I was there like a mediator between them. They would say something, Anjum, tell them to do this or ask them this thing. So I was like a mediator for them, an interpreter or a translator for them. And after the whole day, the shooting is over, we used to come back, And all the recording that we had done, minute by minute, the I used to translate those because the recording was done in their local language. They didn't know. Those girls didn't know English. They used to speak in either in Hindi or Marathi. So listening to each and every word, translating, and that, like if it is like from 1.110 to 1.20 seconds, this girl has spoken this sentence. So they used to write it down minute by minute because at that time, nowadays we have so many like AI softwares where you can do the translation and all that kind of all those facilities were not there even few years ago. So this was something which was again very time taking. Minute to minute translation had to be done. So I did that with those for those skills.
That's interesting, very interesting, ma'am. We'd like to know your thoughts on students being abused on the campus. We've heard several cases in Chennai and in other parts of India as well. Students being bullied by their peers and even taken advantage by the staff members.
Yes,
So many cases and shocking cases with CCTV cameras around us. There is no fear in the perpetrator or the abusers. Now, when I speak of this, there are goosebumps. I feel scared to even
yes,
speak about what has already occurred. Now, imagine a person, uh, irrespective of gender, undergoing the trauma of being abused by their peers or by the faculty members, or maybe an outsider coming in the campus and abusing one of the students. So, or even there are murders happening on campuses. There was one recently took place, I think, last year in Karnataka on the campus. What have you to say? What would you like to say about it? Because this is a very sensitive topic that I'm talking. Would you like
yes.
to share your thoughts and views on it? Because you're always connected with the youth, as you mentioned earlier. Would you like to give a word of caution or a word of advice, or we could say a suggestion for the faculty, for the students, etc., for all of us, including
Yes,
parents,
ma'am.
because
It is
you're a
not.
parenting coach as well, including
Yeah.
parents as well.
Yes, and I must say it is not just for as a student, for the teacher. In fact, it is for everyone.
Yes.
First thing, what I say, especially for the parents, is what we do as parents is we are always in a race. We want that my son or my daughter, when he or she grows up, we want him or her to be an engineer, a doctor, an architect, or a lawyer, or an artist, and all that. But have and any parent thought that my son or daughter should be a very good human being. This is something we are forgetting that we are human beings first. So instead of being in a race of getting them into a very good institution or a very good coaching institute, so they can be passing JEE or NEET, before that, help them to be good human beings, help them to have good values. Because this values, ethics, morals, there is a gap which has been created. And it is our responsibility to fill this gap. The mindset is totally changed. And the kind of stuff which everyone is being exposed. You take an example of the reels or the YouTube short videos that we have. It is not more than a minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute. And still, we people are so impatient that sometimes we are not in a state to even watch that video for 30 minutes. Somewhere you feel, yeah, it's boring, you just scroll. So this impatience is always amongst us. The other thing is the kind of online games which the youth has been playing. Sometimes just go and see that. They're so destructive. Most of them, 99% of them, are so destructive, you can say, because a common thing and all these online games is somewhere you have to, harm someone. You have to kill someone. You have to hurt someone to cross that level. So this all goes into their brains. Even in their real life, they feel that if I want to go ahead, I have to harm some person and then go. So then they watch all this. So it becomes something normal for them. They don't realize that hurting someone, harming someone, either physically, mentally, emotionally, is wrong. They start considering that this is okay. Even we as parents, when very small children, very young children, some 3 years or 4 years of age, the parents feel that's very proud. See, my child can handle this mobile. He by himself he takes this phone and he starts his game and he plays. We are so proud of it. And I must say, there is nothing to be proud if a 3 year or a 4 year old child is able to open the apps and play a game into that. There is nothing to be proud of that. In fact, you are sending your child into some danger which is going to affect. So this impatience is the third thing is accepting rejections. This is something which is lacking. In fact, your age or my age, we were some 3 to 4 siblings. At least two were there. Most of us, many of us have joint families. And even if we lived in a nuclear family, we were 3 to 4 siblings. We used to share our things with each other. Resources were scarce at that time. We used to share. But now, most of them, they say only one. We only have one child. We can't afford. So, with that, what is happening? That child feels that everything that is given, that is only for him. And even the parent, because that is only one child, they do everything. Well, even our parents did everything for us. But because the resources were scarce, we couldn't get each and everything we demanded for. So there were limitations for us. But now, because most of them, because they're a single child, they're getting everything. In fact, not just everything, even more than what they expect. So listening to no is something where it is not their cup of tea. They cannot accept rejections. So once they feel that something is going out of their way, their aspirations or their desires are getting rejected, so they become aggressive. So this is the reason why, everything, all the kind of wrong acts by the youth, especially, are increasing. And if you see the news everywhere, one news will be there where a group of youth or a youth has hit somebody, has killed somebody, and it is very surprising when the victims are their parents or their own brothers and sisters. The other thing is, and there are very small disputes, like even you must have read from the place where you are, like just because a mother refused to play an online game, the son comes and hits the mother with some sharp weapon. Or there was even a case in our area where the mother refused to play with the mobile. So the next second, the son goes and commits a suicide. So this is where accepting rejection is not there among the people, especially the youth.
Yes, dear. Well answered, ma'am. You've given us a lot of insight into how it goes. Most of the youth cannot face rejection. They cannot take no for an answer, but a
Yes.
no is a no,
Yeah.
right? Yes, especially when you're dealing with the opposite gender. And if he or she says no, try to decently and respectfully move away from their path. Do not be a source of hindrance to their lives. A whole other topic we can discuss later. Ma'am, what I'd like to bring to your notice now is victims suffering in silence. There's something going on in their life. They cannot express it to others. Maybe they're struggling at home, some domestic issue, or some financial issue, or the fear of exams, or somebody's blackmailing them either online or offline, irrespective of gender. I'm sharing this. They should open up. They should not suffer in silence. But we've seen quite a few people. I think most of them, they don't want to open their mouth for the fear of the unknown. What will happen if I open my mouth and say something against the perpetrator or the abuser? He or she may take, you know, harsher steps. They may attack my family, or they may do something more they may harm me more, or more harsher things could be done. So many of them keep silent. the youth, especially that teenage, right from 13 to like
Yeah.
the early 20s, very confident to speak up what they are undergoing. So what I would like to share today with you and everyone, if you're undergoing through any process where you are being blackmailed or harmed by anyone or taken advantage of in the wrong way, please open up, come and speak to the right kind of people. There is help. And they think one person is bad to them, they think the whole world is bad to them. This is a wrong concept. Would you like to speak on this? If somebody is hurting you, somebody is causing a lot of stress to you, that's not the end of the world. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You have to just meet the right kind of people. So what is the message you'd
Yes.
love to give to the youngsters to come out of their shell and share the pain and suffering they're undergoing and seek the right kind of guidance and counseling from their mentors, like you are a mentor to them, and from their parents as well?
Yes, ma'am. In this, I would just like to say one sentence. Firstly, there is no problem in this world that doesn't have a solution. And many problems in the world can be solved by talking to each other rather than talking about each other. The fear of, expressing oneself when we are into a problem. Firstly, they are not so confident that, okay, she is my mother, or she is my sister, or she is my teacher. If I go and tell her, will she be able to solve my query? But I would like to say, like, yes, if someone believes in you, someone trusts in you, it might be that when someone comes and tell you, okay, I am into this problem, I am facing this. So it might be that you won't be able to find a solution for that. But for such people, only thing you can do is listen carefully to what that person wants to say. Now, here I'm speaking like a counselor when we do. So at least listen. That is the first step. For this, you don't need to be a counselor. You don't need a degree for this. Just be a human being. Listen. The second thing is that most of the people, when they do is they listen to the problem. Okay, this is a person who is having so and so problem. They go and spread it to the others. Like if the person has come to you, you don't have a solution for that. You don't understand like what suggestion can be given. Just say, okay, dear, I will think over it. I will tell you. And because you have no experience with that, you should discuss it even with others. But try to hide the identity of the person. This is the fear which the person, because the problem, they don't want to be, like a news which comes. They don't want it, like everyone should know about it. So when that person has shown confidence on you, so please be confident. In fact, the counselors, if you sometimes you just try to talk to them, they will never disclose the identity of the person. They will discuss they will discuss the case studies with you. Like a boy came with so and so problem, a girl, but they will never disclose. So this is what even we can do. Never disclose the identity of the person who has come to you with the problem. If you are not directly in a state to give a solution, discuss it with others and then go to that person. That person has come to you because he believed you, he trusted you, so don't break that trust. But many people, what they do is they just disclose the identity. They tell that, okay, that person, this has happened with him. He came to me and he told me, but you don't tell anyone. But that person goes to the third person. So when that person who's actually undergoing a problem, when he comes to know that, okay, this is the worldwide news now. So this is the fear when they don't open up, and that pain gets piled up into their hands, and then sometimes when they are not able to handle it, this is the case where they go for suicides. And so this is the first thing. Please understand them, preserve their identity, give them solutions. This is the thing we should be doing.
Excellent, Dr. Anjum. I really love the way you put this so well. You put it in this way: there is no problem without a solution, right? That's really nice. Ma'am, as you just mentioned about suicide, we'll just talk about it towards the end of the session. We give our whole, but we don't get anything in return. It's that time we feel that why do we need to survive? I've done my very best for my family, for my friends, for my career, for known people, unknown people. I've done my very best. I haven't cheated anyone. I haven't hurt anybody. I haven't, degraded anyone. But what do I get in return? Nothing. People have taken advantage of my good nature. And at that time, one feels completely dejected. That's one type of, a group of people who would love to commit suicide with nobody standing with me. In spite of me being good, I have no supporters and I don't have the right kind of people. They're only there to take advantage. Some of the people, they would love to commit suicide, or they would contemplate, not love, they would contemplate. And what I'd like to ask you now is, how can we reduce the number of suicides in schools and colleges? What should be done?
Yeah, that's a very good question. In fact, like even earlier I spoke, that the accepting rejections, that is the first thing that we need to understand. That every time you're not going to get a yes for everything. And because though every one of us has two eyes, everyone has a different way of looking at a thing. Anything, you just keep a bottle in front of few people. If five persons are there, they will give different perspectives for you. And then you should learn to identify people around you. So once you realize that these are the people who are just using me, who are just taking advantage of me, or they are just using my skills. So keep distance. Well, it is very, easy to say like forgive, forget, and all, being compassionate and all that. But yes, if there are people around you who are filling you with the negativity, keep a distance from those people. And especially at the workplace, the one thing that you have to understand is you should be having an attachment with your work, not with your workplace. And at the workplace, you will never find friends. You will only find colleagues. Well, it is very common that if I know you, suppose like, I will say, okay, she's my friend. But actually, we don't have such friends. Friends will be very few, just one or two, or some more in number if we have. But at workplace, especially, whether you're in school, as a student, if you're there, and when you come as a professional, when you are into job, or you're at home, you're socializing with the people around you, they are only the people whom you know. They are just colleagues. So, and there is a difference between that. Like, for example, if you go to an office someday, you have particular way of, dressing up every day. So, a colleague, sometimes you just miss that. Suppose, like a woman, like if you put lipstick every day. I forgot to put a lipstick, and I go to the office, and if she's really my friend, she will say, "Hey, Anjum, what happened? Is everything okay?" Because she will understand that, okay, because this lady who dresses up, she puts up lipstick every day. So might be something is wrong with her. Well, what a colleague will do. Hey, you're looking so weird today. You're not put your lipstick. You're looking very bad. Go and put some lipstick. But she won't understand that because might be she must have forgotten. The lady must have forgotten to have a lipstick, put on lipstick today. But a friend will only understand that yes, one possibility might be that she has forgotten it, and the other possibility might be that she's in some kind of stress or tension that she forgot to do it today. So we have very few friends. Actually, the world is like that today. So we have to know how to identify people and to keep distance from such people. And the third thing is we can't keep everyone happy. That is, right from the childhood, we have heard so many stories for that. So yes, we need to understand you can't keep everyone happy. So if someone is unhappy with you, let them go. Don't run behind them. See, I'm doing this, so be satisfied, appreciate me, live it. So that's what we have to do.
Excellent, ma'am. I really love the way you put this. You cannot make everyone happy, right? I really
Yes.
like this. It's really very true because we always, have this people pleasing nature, most of us, like
Yeah.
wanting to make people happy. But as you just mentioned, now we cannot make everyone happy. Let it go. The ones who appreciate you will stay in your life. The ones who don't appreciate you, you try your best. And if they still don't appreciate you, let them go. Live in dignity, right?
Yes.
Excellent, ma'am. That's really nice. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear ma'am, for sharing your expertise with us. You have a vast ocean of knowledge with you with regard to life, and you very well know what you are doing. That's really very nice. And I like all the tips that you shared with us, all life skills. And I really should, salute you for the life skills which you are training all the youngsters with. And today you shared that with us as well, as you mentioned, very good ones. To mention one is like, you just can't make the entire world happy. So just be in peace. I love that, and many more to mention. Due to time constraints, I'd like to minimize what I'm sharing from my end. Ma'am, thank you so much for being a part of our journey. We look forward to many more interactions with you. You're a wonderful person, and we would love the youth to connect with you for the right reasons. And we would love them to be trained under you and to get your mentorship. Or, I would love you to be a great mentor to all of them, and especially the rural youth you mentioned. I would love them to come out, and I'd love to see many more Anjums like you. Dr.
Sure.
Anjum Nasir Qureshi. We want many more like you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Stay connected and stay blessed. Thank you. So, dear friends, with this, we come to an end now to the International Fab Talks for today. Please do share this video with the right kind of people. And if anyone would like to receive any kind of training or mentorship, could get connected with our celebrity guest. Of course, with her permission, we will share her details in the description when we share this interview. My dear friends, do share this with one and all. Don't forget to love yourself, protect your family, and protect the environment as well. Let me put it right. Don't forget to love yourself, protect your family, and protect the environment as well. And if you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, connecting with the right kind of professionals, getting to know their thought process, getting to know how they are trying to transform the world, how they are wanting to give back to the society in the right way. Stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fact Talks. Be a blessing to the universe. Stay connected. Thank you, ma'am.